Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 4 of Geek.0, coming to you live on Friday, March 13th. So, Friday the 13th. Yeah, we decided instead of the normal tech rant or whatever for the day, we just do something a little bit fun, a little bit different. In fact, this was inspired by a friend of mine, Cheyenne. Hi, shout out to Cheyenne on Facebook, who was looking for a scary movie to watch. And, ooh, Perrier, fancy. So she was looking for a scary movie to watch. I was tossing out suggestions. She just kept smacking them down like Dikembe Mutombo. This right here to me. Tells me she gave Cabin in the Woods a 2 out of 5 on Netflix.
Ouch.
So, yeah, Eli Roth is just stabbed. So I figured, you being a scary movie buff that you are, and I don't get to watch them near as much as I used to because my wife hates them passionately hates scary movies. So I really haven't got to sit down and watch one in a long time, 5 or 6 years. Though I did start watching Oculus tonight. I figured we would talk about our favorite scary movies, especially since it's Friday the 13th. So, Sean, why don't you lead off? What's a couple, three of your favorite scary movies? You can save your favorite one till last. Let's just go 3, 2, 1. Favorite scary movies.
Hard for me to pick, but if I had to pick my top 3, they'd probably be The Exorcist, Rosemary's Baby, and Event Horizon.
Oh, I like Event Horizon.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one. My top 3. Actually, why don't we talk about Event Horizon for a little bit? Maybe it'll create a little bit of suspense. That's good storytelling. So let's create a little bit of suspense. Tell us, why do you love Event Horizon? Why is it your number 1 scary movie?
For me, because it touches on a number of horror archetypes that are not as common, but definitely very deeply rooted in most people's psyches. So we've got time, and you know what I mean, our lack of understanding of it. Obviously, hell.
Yeah.
And then space. And those are 3 areas where, people are superstitious. And so it touches on all of them. The cinematography is fantastically done. The mood is creepy from the moment the damn movie starts, before it even gets to anything that's supposed to be remotely horror, So it's just a really, really exceptionally good movie. It's Clive Barker, so...
Yeah, he usually does some good stuff.
Yeah.
He's been known to make a couple of good horror movies.
Yeah, and it's got a great cast. It's got Sam Neill in it, who I truly enjoy in almost everything he's in. The movie's just, it's creepy, but I remember the first time I saw it, it scared the pants off me. And even to this day, when I watch that movie, it freaks me out. And I know it's going to be a little bit sacrilegious to not have The Exorcist at the top of my list. And it's in my top 5.
I think it was in your top 3 if I was just listening to you. So. Yeah, because you said Exorcist.
Exorcist, Rosemary's Baby, and
Event
Horizon.
You're okay.
So, yeah.
You're top 3. I mean, you can't be too upset with.
No,
people can't be too upset with you.
Event Horizon touches me. Ooh.
It's Sam Neill, isn't it? Sam Neill touches you.
He does.
You need to call somebody.
Which reminds me of a joke about Apple's new trackpad on the new MacBook, the Force touchpad. It's very wrong. But sorry, I had to throw a tech joke in there.
Go ahead.
I think it appeals to me because it appeals to both the scientific, the science and technology side, as well as the horror fan side. So I love sci-fi movies that are horror themed. And I think that's extended into other stuff like, the Dead Space games and things like that. But I am absolutely enthralled by space and terrified by it at the same time. That's why the Aliens movies are so fantastic, and they're on my top 10. So it's one of those things. But Event Horizon was not what I expected at all.
Yeah.
I think, and that's another reason why it stuck with me for a long time, is it just catches you off guard.
Yeah.
And then my
Yeah, I
other two
love
are
Event
standbys.
Horizon. I
It's a
love
good
Event
movie.
Horizon. It's really good, and it's one of those movies. I haven't seen it in a while, just because, like I said, I don't really get to watch horror movies much anymore. But man, I remember watching it a ton when I was a teenager. It was just one of those movies that um, every time it was on HBO or Showtime, or I think it started to make its way onto the edited version onto basic cable and stuff. I would still, if it was on, I'd watch it. And because I was younger, so it was, golly, I think it came out in probably
97.
98,
I want to say
99?
97.
Yeah,
Hold on.
97. You're right.
Yeah,
97.
I was going to say.
So it came out after Jurassic Park, and it has Sam Neill in it. So, um, being a kid and liking Jurassic Park, it drew me in. Sam Neill is what drew me in, and then went from there. So good top three.
Hit me.
Okay, my top three. Number three, and this is mostly just a sentimental, old school slasher horror film. I love Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
I freaking love Halloween. I love the Captain Kirk mask spray painted and the dude wearing it. I love the theme. Oh, that theme used to be every year for the whole month of October. The Halloween theme was my ringtone on my phone.
Still is for me.
See, and that song it's awesome. So I freaking love Halloween. I love that movie. Number two is The Exorcist. Exorcist, of course, scary. You got the girl freaking crab legging around and all this. It's just creepy. It's good stuff, but it's creepy. But my number one, and it's funny that we both went the way we went, because my number one movie also leans towards science fiction as opposed to traditional horror, and my number one is Alien. So,
Absolutely.
and as you can tell, I like my horror films made in the late 70s. Apparently horror was just better before 1980.
Exactly what I was going to say. Though I think that we've gotten to, I think as visual effects significantly improved in time. Obviously, the 90s and the early 2000s saw a massive revolution in the terms of visual effects. ILM started doing their best work ever, and all these great studios started doing these amazing effects. I've noticed that we've gotten bloodier and gorier movies. A ton better. A lot better job is done in today's horror movies of depicting, gruesomeness. And I think it takes away a bit from the storytelling. I think your classic 70s and 80s horror movies, because they couldn't rely on spectacular visual effects, then at that point they had to put more into the suspense of it. There are very few movies that nail it as good as Alien. So I got to give you props there. It's on my list.
Well, it's just... It just the tense and the build up, and you never really see the monster till almost to the end, and you just feel it in the background, and you're just sitting and you're waiting, and don't go in there. The whole tense situation of it. I love Alien. In fact, I just downloaded it again last night because I hadn't seen it in a while.
I have to say though, it's not in my top three. I will say that the Aliens trilogy, that collection is the only horror collection that I have on full Blu-ray. Yeah. It's the only one that I've devoted that much disc space to in that quality. To this day, one of my favorite scenes in any movies, let alone a horror movie, is there's two of them. The scene where Bishop gets torn up. And then the chest burster scene, that sound bite from the lady in the background. Oh God. That's a terrible sound bite when the chest burster comes out. Is so classic and so recognizable. I have seen and heard that clip used in so many games. Since
Yeah.
then, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
Fantastic scene.
Um, one of my favorite, and it comes from that really, but it's the scene where Ripley's got her head up against the wall. It's iconic, and her head's turned sideways. I think it might be actually the aliens, but her head's shaved, and
Yeah.
she's all turned sideways, and the little mouth grabber deal's coming out at her, just real slow, and the alien's just like a few feet away from her.
Yeah,
I
the head shaved one's actually in 3.
That is 3. Thank you.
Aliens is the one where she's got the long hair, same scene.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it's drawn to her, and I love the way that dance is done in Aliens. It's a lot like the Jamie Lynn Curtis and Michael Myers connection in Halloween, where she's there and he kills everything around her,
but can't quite
but
get to her.
never her. And the same thing with the Alien. I think it's a little more. I think it's a little different in the case of Aliens, where she almost has a bond with it, and that makes it that much more creepy and fearful. And of course, once she has it inside her, spoiler alert for those of you who haven't seen, the rest of the series.
You're wrong.
Yeah, you probably should turn this off now and go watch it.
Go watch Alien.
So yeah, fantastic series. Good top 3, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So I've got a question for you.
Yeah. What do you got?
Favorite horror villain, okay? Top 3.
Favorite horror villain. Oh, I'm so unprepared, sir. Top 3's tough. So let's say, obviously Michael Myers. I'm a big fan of Michael Myers. Pinhead's pretty good. I don't know if he's top 3. Freddy for the charisma. So I'd probably go Michael Myers, Freddy, and sorry for the dead air, folks. I got caught off guard here. I'll keep Pinhead in there. And those are 3. I think those are 3 pretty good choices.
Okay.
I like Freddy's charisma. I like Michael Myers' dead silence, and man, Pinhead's just evil, and it's just great. The Hellraiser series with all the nails coming out and stuff. It's just for the visual effect.
Yes,
I think is what I like the most about Pinhead.
Some more amazing work from Clive Barker, who is truly a master of his craft. I will honestly have to agree with you there. Pinhead is in my top 3. Pinhead terrifies me. Whereas Michael Myers, I can look at and just stare at. Michael Myers is without question my favorite because of the connection. Freddy, I absolutely love. He was the first time I've seen a horror villain bring humor to what he does.
Yeah,
he physically enjoys what he does, and it's maniacal and creepy, but at the same time, the campy one-liners he throws out are freaking hilarious. But Pinhead terrifies me. Like, even right now, looking at pictures of him, they're unsettling. And if you haven't seen the Hellraiser series out there as fans of horror movies, guys, you don't know what you're missing. The Hellraiser series is one of the first series to truly make me squirm in my skin. I feel uncomfortable the entire time. It's wrong. It's a lot like Human Centipede.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Don't put yourself through it.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies where you hear about it being one of the worst movies in history. So you tell yourself, I want to see what everyone's talking about. And once you go there, you can't come back. And that's the best way I can put it.
I got you.
You can't unsee that. You cannot unsee that movie. It's more wrong than it is scary. So that's why it's not on my list. But it is a creepy movie.
It's funny that, a series we didn't mention that a lot of people love, but it's basically torture porn, is Saw.
Yeah,
the whole Saw series, and it's not that I dislike Saw.
Not at all.
The first 1 or 2 I liked a lot, but then it just got more and more unbelievable and more outlandish as it went. But man, the contraptions they came up with were awfully cool.
I will call those movies in a special category. Another series that does the same thing with just a different mechanic to it is the Final Destination movies.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
They are movies that I don't watch for the horror factor. I watch them because I love to see the new creative ways in which they're going to kill somebody.
Off people, yeah.
Everyone who has ever gone to watch any of the sequels to Final Destination has gone just because they want to see the ways they're going to eliminate each person on the list.
Well, yeah, because it sure as heck isn't plot line.
Exactly.
You know.
And Saw, though I agree with you, I like the first one. I think the multiple sequels were terrible plot-wise. It was crap. But it is fun to see the ingenuity that Jigsaw brings into what he does. And I actually thought that the plot twists...
the chick from Becker.
Yeah. Dude, don't do... Why are you going to spoil it?
But it's randomly the chick from Becker.
But the first one, I actually thoroughly enjoyed the plot twists all the way up, into the end when you find out who Jigsaw is and how and why. Yeah. I did enjoy that. So the first one, I give props for what it is, but I'm not into the torture porn. The Eli Roth. I like Eli Roth's movies. Don't get me wrong, I do. There isn't a single. I like the Hostel series.
He's awesome as the Jew Bear in Inglourious Basterds.
The Jew
Freaking
Bear.
love him in that movie.
He is. I like some of the Hostel series. I like the Saw movies, but they're not great. They're fun.
Yeah.
I like them. They're certainly not going to make it onto my top list of it by any means.
It's kind of like you said before. Some of the stuff, there's not near the practical effects that there used to be.
Yeah. It's shock value.
Yeah. That's what a lot of it is.
It's the Howard Stern of horror movies.
Oh, hey. Nice pull. It's just, can you make them gasp or gag, I guess. It's the two options.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to throw you off guard with one. Favorite horror, I'm thinking the best way to phrase this. Favorite horror comedy?
Ooh, okay, so hands down.
Or, not necessarily horror comedy, but...
humorous horror.
Humorous horror.
Period.
Or
hands down, number one on my list will always be Evil Dead. Evil Dead is beyond frickin' funny. And everybody that I've ever known who saw it for the first time didn't know what to expect. The cover sets you off because you're like, is this just a campy make fun of horror movies? And then they watch it and they're like, what the shit? Yeah. And number two, Army of Darkness. Absolutely amazing.
That's one I haven't gotten to catch yet.
Oh my god!
I need to.
Shop smart, S-smart. And there's a scene in the actual market when they come back, when he comes back from hell, and I won't give away the whole story. Absolutely amazing. Demon bitch in the tearing up the store, right? And he's got this shotgun, and one of my favorite lines ever in any movie is Bruce Campbell turning around, a close up on his face, and he's like, "Yo, she bitch. Suck my boomstick," and he's got this double barrel shotgun, dude.
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce is the man.
And Bruce we trust.
Yes.
And not Springsteen.
So Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, and if I had to go with a third one, Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait. Hold on. Cabin Fever, is that the one with the flesh-eating virus? Cabin Fever. I think it's Cabin Fever. Yeah. Fun.
I guess because I was looking at it a little bit different than you, I'd say, but I would say my top two, and they're not. I'd say they almost lean more to the comedy side than the horror side. But I'm huge fans of both of these movies. If they're on TV, I don't not watch them, and that's Zombieland and Shaun of the Dead.
See. Yeah, okay. So I don't consider them full horror movies. I see what you mean. I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're more comedy than
horror. Yep.
Frightening elements.
It's so funny that you mentioned that because I just watched Zombieland at the gym the other night on the treadmill.
So good.
So, I love Zombieland. That pairing, okay, the pairing of Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
Just genius.
And the more than spectacular Bill Murray cameo.
Yes.
I love the Bill Murray cameo.
Yes.
Everything about that movie is just awesome.
Woody's his determination to find Twinkies.
Yeah. And then he always paints 3. on the side
Yes.
of every vehicle for the
Yep.
Intimidator. And then, man, Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, all of the
I
Shaun of the Dead
love.
movies, all of the movies with Simon Pegg and his crew of guys have been
Yeah,
fantastic. Hot Fuzz was amazing.
yeah.
We don't get enough of that great British comedy.
Into the World was actually pretty good. If you
Yes,
haven't
it was
seen that yet,
fantastic. Yeah,
yeah.
not a horror movie, all comedy,
No,
but hilarious.
well, I mean, there's
Zombies, death.
aliens.
Yeah, I
So,
guess.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Spoilers. There's aliens. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm sorry. There's like a 2 year window
Yeah.
for spoilers. So,
Anything over two
yeah.
years, we're gonna wreck for you. So
So, and it may be more like 60 days.
don't be mad at
But
us. Be mad at you don't watch enough movies. There you go.
yeah, good call. But I love Shaun of the Dead. I love you got red on you. You got the little and I love just the little nuances. The running around with the cricket bat and bashing people in the head with it. The
Oh
jaguar.
yes.
The fact that Bill Nighy's in it. I mean, it's just I freaking love the movie. And
I gotta
it
say, anything with Bill Nye in it is good. Period. If it's got Bill Nye in it, I don't care what the movie is fantastic. Love Actually, Shaun of the Dead, you name it.
Underworld Evolution.
Yep, fucking great
Okay.
because it's Bill
Okay.
Nye.
Okay. Okay. Bill Nighy at his Bill Nighyest Underworld.
Here's the
uh,
deal: if you doubt me,
those actually aren't, for the most part, like the second one, aren't half bad. As if we're talking monsters and stuff, Underworld's not bad. So, a little bit of fun with Kate Beckinsale there and flipping around like a vampire and stabbing people and shooting them and stuff.
I'm
So,
just gonna say, and if for no other reason than to watch Kate Beckinsale in a tight spandex suit shooting the shit out of stuff. Okay, hot chicks with guns.
yeah,
What? I mean, seriously. She's in black spandex or leather, excuse me,
yeah,
the
leather.
entire
There you
movie.
go. Yeah, black's
And
patent leather.
and
Yeah.
the entire movie is in dark lighting, and
Oh,
her
yeah.
eyes are glowing blue. I mean,
Oh, it's awesome.
yeah,
It's good stuff.
vampires. It's
So,
awesome.
and on that same genre, I guess one movie we have left out is Ghostbusters, because that kind of fits
Oh,
in the more comedy than horror. But you could almost, I guess, like if you're 5 or 10, maybe under 7, be scared by Ghostbusters. Um, but it sounds like there's 2 new Ghostbusters making their way to the theaters. And give me a second before you go nerd rage on me, or women's lib rage, or whatever kind of rage it's going to be. Um, the first one was going to come out, and it was going to be an all female cast, and that one is still coming out, and it's going to be Kristen Wiig. Golly, dang it! Now I can't think of all their names.
come on now.
Kristen Wiig, uh, Kate McKinnon,
Melissa
what's-her-face?
Melissa McCarthy. Come on, yeah.
Yeah, and the other gal, the Winston Zeddemore. I can't think of her name, and I'm so
Oh
sorry.
yeah.
The Winston role. Okay, first off, I really wish Melissa McCarthy wasn't in it. She used to be funny until I feel like she's become a caricature of herself, and she's just the fat person that does pratfalls now instead of actually being funny. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, fart jokes and I stink and I fall down, and it's like they took what made her character funny in Bridesmaids, and now they've just
Yeah, I can
increased that
understand that.
exponentially, and like Tammy and stuff like that.
Tammy was terrible. Tammy was
Yeah,
terrible.
and so my worry is that they're gonna roll the fat girl falls down the stairs into Ghostbusters. So if it were me, no offense to Melissa McCarthy, if I were gonna have my cast, Tina Fey would have been in it. She would have been in the Egon role. That would have fit for me. That would have made more sense. And in the Winston Zeddemore role, I probably would have put Aisha Tyler in it. All accomplished stand-up comedian, because then you'd have Kristen Wiig, Tina Fey, Kate McKinnon, and Aisha Tyler, all accomplished all accomplished comedians, all accomplished actresses.
Yeah.
And I think they would all have very good chemistry together. But, whatever. But I think what has your ire up um, is the new men's Ghostbusters that's going to be coming out. Apparently being led by Magic Mike himself, Channing Tatum, which, um, but why has that gotten you in such an ire that there's going to be a Ghostbusters XXL? Ha!
It's not that I have a problem with there being a Ghostbusters XXL or a new, excuse me, a new Ghostbusters. Here's the deal: when they talked about doing this Ghostbusters reboot, everyone got excited because there's nobody that doesn't like Ghostbusters on the merits of either humor or fun, and if you don't like Ghostbusters, shut up. But the the idea was they were gonna redo it. They're gonna kind of take it a new place, make it fun, and they said, what better way than to give it an all female cast? The original, where the original series was this great group of guys who were absolutely fantastic together, great chemistry, and let's get a group of girls together, do the same thing. We'll take a whole new spin on it, and I thought that was a great idea. And then they picked what I thought was a really solid cast. I agree with you when it comes to Melissa McCarthy to a degree, but I think when you put her with Kristen Wiig, I think the chemistry that they had, from Bridesmaids,
I think they'll be okay.
I think they are fantastic together. Okay,
I have my concerns.
I understand that, but I think as a whole, the cast is a pretty well-rounded one. Here's my problem. Here they come along after this announcement, after they do all this, and then they go, "Oh, hey, we're gonna do a Ghostbusters movie as well with all dudes," and it, to me, okay, it marginalizes this all new female cast. It's essentially what they've done is said, yeah, so we're gonna let these chicks make their little Ghostbusters movie, but it's gonna be a separate side project. It's not gonna be part of the Ghostbusters family of stuff. It'll be some off weird thing with chicks in it. We're going to make another Ghostbusters movie to fit with the original series, and we're going to have dudes in it, and it's going to be cool and awesome. It's like, it's all boys club thinking. You know what I mean? It reminds...
But I think with some of the stuff that I've read, I also think, and this also has me concerned, I think they're going to try to Marvel movie this crap, and I think it's going to be an extended Ghostbusters universe. And then there's going to be Channing Tatum Ghostbuster, Kristen Wiig Ghostbuster, and then there will be a convergence. There will be a giant, I don't know, a giant or Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man that they have to kill. Or they're going to have to ride the Statue of Liberty again. I don't know.
Who the hell is the studio doing this reboot? Hold on.
Probably Warner's.
Okay, well, Warner's, you're idiots. I just want to say.
I said it's probably Warner's. Hold on.
Okay, well, whoever got this idea in their head that we can make a couple of them, and then start trying to push all of this together. That's crap. You know what it is? It's taking a great comedy slash. I don't want to say horror. Sony
Pictures Entertainment.
Go figure. You guys are hurting and you're grasping at straws. So, here's the thing. I think you're taking a great franchise. You're trying to do two different things with it, and you're going to try to bring it together. I Marvelize it like crazy. Here's the thing. The reason Marvel works when they do this kind of stuff is because of the pedigree. Okay?
Yeah, they have a giant backlog of characters to draw from.
There's an insane backlog of characters, and not only is there an insane backlog of characters, there's an insane backlog of interactions with these characters crossing into each other's universes. So there's all types of context to draw from. Now you're talking about taking one of the most beloved, comedy storylines in cinematic history, right? And completely reinventing it, and then trying to make another newer version of it, and then meld them together. And Paul Feig had a thing I read, I don't know, a little bit ago about the whole idea of ruining your childhood. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I don't think that his project would in any way, shape, or form. But I honestly think you're going to piss on the name of the Ghostbusters franchise if you try to do too much of this junk.
Yeah.
I'm ranting.
Yeah. Well, and I'm very sorry that I didn't know this in advance, and I should have The gal that's playing the Winston's at a more role the, and I even hate to say it this way, the token black chick, is Leslie Jones, who
Oh
has
yes,
just
that's right.
she has a long stand-up career and is a good stand-up and has just recently come on to Saturday Night Live. I'm okay with her on SNL. She kind of just seems to play the loud person a lot of the times. But it just seems like it just I don't know. And it does look like they're going to give Harold Ramis a writing credit on the movie, which is nice. So I like that.
Yeah,
But I think we've probably taken up enough time talking movies here. But it was fun.
absolutely.
So, that being said, hit us up at geek.0.com. You do have to spell out the point. Hit us up on facebook.com/geek.0. Hit us up on twitter.com/geek.0. Check out what we've got. We usually post 2 or 3 things throughout, several things sometimes throughout the day on Facebook and on social media. And our website, we're trying to keep up with it. Obviously, it's a side project for us, so we both have daytime jobs. But we're tossing some stuff up there every once in a while, every couple days, So with that being said, for Geek.0, I'm Chris.
And I'm Michael.
And remember, it's better to be a geek than an idiot.